All right, I am back on. Sorry for the technical difficulties there, but I am now back on with you guys. Just having a little bit of page slowness here. Like I said, this is a new system that we are testing out here. I enjoy Opus so much. Once again, huge shout out to Opus for allowing me to use their system. So let's continue this Friday night Q&A. Hope you guys are still all on with me, and you can keep asking your questions, and I will try to get to every single question. All right, let's look through the questions here. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, keep smashing that subscribe button. On the road to 6,000. I really appreciate this, Bears friends. I'm having to look through these questions, right, and try to answer all the questions as possible. You can also submit a video comment as well. If you don't want, I can also answer your questions through this video comment. All you have to do is take your phone, scan the little barcode on the screen, and I can answer any video questions you may have. So I actually received a video from Connor.
Welcome to Video Comments. This is a sample video comment that you would receive from one of your audience members. It is automatically transcribed and gives you a better way to engage with your audience. Simply click show to put it on the screen.
So that's an example of a video message. So if you wanted to do a video message to me, just like I said, scan this barcode, send it to me, and I can answer your questions through video as well. All right, we're gonna go back to the questions now. All right. Aaron said, KIEQ, who's your top 5 cornerbacks in the draft that fit with the Bears? Witherspoon is my number 1. You know, I haven't really looked at cornerbacks because personally, when I'm looking at players, I'm just looking at team needs. I think we could possibly use one more cornerback, but it's not my top need. So I haven't really been looking at cornerbacks. But top 5 receivers that fits with the Bears. Personally, I'm a big Najigba guy. I think with him being out all season long, he's been kind of like pushed off to the side, like compared to guys like Addison, guy from TCU, right? So he may drop to the second. And if he drops to the second round, that's a guy that I would really like. Nano CBD says, KIEQ, would you trade down to number 7 with the Raiders to get Adams and picks? Ooh, man, that's a good one. It just depends. How many, what picks are we talking about? You know, if we're, of course, I'd take Devontae Adams. I don't care how old he is. He's an absolute stud. It just depends. I think so. We would probably get number 7, Devontae Adams, and probably what, a next year second. See, I'm not sure if that's enough because once again, Adams is on the older side. Yes, he would be a number 1 wide receiver for the Chicago Bears for the next couple of years, but he is on the older side. So I'm not sure. That's a good question, though. That's a great question. All right, let's keep going through the questions here. Adam says, if you can get any of the talked about wide receivers this offseason, who would you want? I want D-Hop. I feel he would be the cheapest yet effective day one. Absolutely. DeAndre Hopkins. Yes, he is 31. That's a true fact. But he would be instant wide receiver number 1, and you would only have to give up a 3rd or 4th round pick for him. I don't think we're talking about a 1st or 2nd round pick for DeAndre Hopkins. His contract is massive, but that is something that the Bears can afford. For me personally, I think it would be smart to consider a guy like DeAndre Hopkins just to have a number 1 guy until we can get in next year's draft a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that would be a very good plan. Yeah, Floyd said another wide receiver I would love to have is Quentin Johnston. Absolutely. He's big, fast, physical. I was reading on Twitter the other day that someone said that Quentin Johnston reminds him of Kevin White. So when I watch his game, I'm like, yeah, he does just run straight, whatever. He's fast, he's big, he has all the physical tools. So we'll have to wait and see. But I also do like Quentin Johnston as well. Joseph says, I lived in the sweetness generation. Yes, hey, and that's the greatest generation of them all. I personally wish if I could have lived in that generation, watching that 85 Bears team, I am truly jealous. I just want to remind you guys, if you guys want to, in the top, I think it's what, my left of my screen, or my right of my screen, you can scan. You can do a video comment if you want. If you do not want to, just comment in the chat. I am bot said, I saw someone say that we should use EQ as a tight end. I kind of like the idea. What do you think? You know what? I kind of like the idea because he's an outstanding blocker. And when you think about a tight end, it depends. Sometimes you maybe get a matchup with having EQ at tight end as well. But I think I would like him at tight end for the simple fact that he's an excellent blocker. So actually, that would be an interesting idea. It would be intriguing to see. Jeremiah said 30 minutes late. Damn, your YouTube notification. I appreciate you being here, Jeremiah. Myles Murphy we can get Myles Murphy at number 7. Yeah, absolutely. Myles Murphy would also be a great option for the Bears, especially if they trade down. You could think about guys like Peter Skoronski as well, the offensive tackle from Northwestern, right? So there's guys if you trade down. Nano CBD says, KIEQ, would you pay $20 million a year for free agent Daron Payne? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Daron Payne is my number one free agent. I would instantly pay $20 million a year for Daron Payne. The Bears are in desperate need of a 3 technique defensive lineman. Daron Payne can stop the run. He can get after the quarterback. He can do everything that you need him to do. He is only, 25 years old, so he'll be a Bear for at least 5 to 6 years if everything goes well. Yes, I would pay Daron Payne whatever he wants. We desperately need defensive line because my word of the year is that this Bears defensive line was putrid. Jeremiah says, do you think the Bears are about to pull off the best trade back in NFL history? It's possible. Because there's been a lot of talk about the Bears getting multiple first round picks. We're talking about not one, not two, but 3 first round picks. And that's not including second round picks, third round picks, possibly even players. The Bears are in a unique spot, and I expect them to cash in big time, like big time. You're just not joining the channel, thank you so much for joining the Friday night live stream. I'm going to make this a consistent thing. I mentioned it earlier for the people that are in the live stream, but do you guys like the idea of me doing an all day live stream on the first day of free agency? So that way I can give you guys all the breaking news. You guys can tune in whenever you guys want, but I'll be here all day giving you guys the latest breaking news of every single thing Chicago Bears. How do you guys like that idea? And going back to the Daron Payne thing, would you guys not pay $20 million for a guy that would instantly make our defensive line better? That's just me. That's just me. We desperately need defensive line. We have the money to pay a guy like that. Daron Payne, if he becomes a free agent and Washington is dumb enough to let him go, he's a Chicago Bear. In my eyes, he has to be a Chicago Bear. All right. Let's see how the new questions. Who do you think the Bears' greatest punter of all time? Give the punter some love. I do give the punter some love because I was a soccer player, so I appreciate how well the punters can kick the ball or the kickers. I appreciate that kind of stuff from being a soccer player. The greatest Bears punter of all time, man. Whew. For me, let's go with Tress Way. I'm not sure if you guys remember Tress Way. I think he's with the Washington Commanders now. He wasn't that good with us, but with the Washington Commanders, he is solid. But I'm like, he came from the Bears, so that makes no difference. Tress Way, to me, yes. Let's give Tress Way some love. Adam says, thanks for taking the time to answer my question. I agree. I think we got a rookie next year like Harrison Jr. Diop would be a great mentor for the young wide receiver room. No problem for answering your question. That's why I'm here for. Thank you so much for being a subscriber to the channel and showing the love to KIEQ on the mic. Really appreciate you. But yes, getting a guy like Will Anderson Jr., bringing in D-Hop would go a long way to making the Bears better. Now, CBDC, are the Cardinals open to draft young QB as Murray seems injury prone? Just saying. I'm not sure what the Cardinals are going to do. There was a rumor today or a report today saying that no coach wants to go to Arizona because they don't want to deal with Kyler Murray's shit. That's exactly what it said. He seems like kind of like a drama queen at times, kind of like a diva, kind of selfish. So I don't know what's going to happen with Arizona, right? There's been rumors about Arizona wanting Will Anderson Jr. Or Jalen Carter as well. So we'll see what's going to happen. Maybe they do with the new coach. Say, you know what? Let's maybe try to trade Kyler Murray and get a new quarterback. Who knows? Things happen. If the Bears draft a QB and trade Justin Fields, what would be your reaction? Pissed off. I would have no words. It would be tough for me to support this team. I would still support them. I understand it's a business, but I think it would just be unfair to Justin Fields to just get rid of him without even trying to build around him. So I would be very frustrated if the Bears did that. Could you see Travis Gibson starting this year instead of the Bears getting him a replacement? You know, for me personally, Travis Gibson kind of took a decline. Last year he was really good. This year, not so much. I can see Travis Gibson being a really good rotational guy, but as a starter, I'm not sure. But as a rotational piece, I really like Travis Gibson. Connor says, I haven't heard anyone talk about the linebacker position. I know that Sanborn hype is there, but we still need 2 or 3 linebackers out there on most plays. How do you think the Bears address linebacker? So we already know that we have Sanborn. I think they're going to re-sign Nicholas Morrow. I think they re-sign Matthew Adams. But then I look at guys like TJ Edwards, right? I look at guys like Bobby Okereke from the Indianapolis Colts that I really like. You can get any of those 2 guys, and they can be instant starters for the Chicago Bears. Then you can look at the NFL draft. Believe this is, I forgot where he's from. I think is he from Arkansas? You can correct me if I'm wrong. There's a guy from Arkansas. No, I don't think it's Arkansas. There's a guy from Oregon out there that's really good. But I do expect the Bears to add a couple more linebackers to pair with Jack Sanborn this offseason. Nano CB says next year, Harrison Jr., wide receiver number 1 in 2024. Your thoughts? Absolutely. Harrison Jr. is an absolute monster. If you guys haven't watched Harrison Jr. play, I want you guys to go to YouTube, leave the live stream real quick, go type in Marvin Harrison Jr. highlights, and tell me that you don't want him on the Bears next year. That's why, to me, it's so important to trade back and try to get that next year's first so that team can suck and we can get Marvin Harrison Jr. to be the Bears' new wide receiver number 1. That would be awesome. Joseph says, Justin ain't going anywhere. They already said that. Yes, I know. It was just a question. I don't want Justin Fields to go anywhere. I'd be very disappointed if Justin Fields was traded from the Chicago Bears. Very disappointed. If you're just now joining the live stream, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Yes, it was Arkansas. Thank you, Cade. Arkansas guy is Drew Sanders. I really appreciate that. Yeah, if you're just now joining the live stream, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers. Now I know this is a long way away still, but at 10,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do a massive giveaway, probably another couple of signed jerseys for a loyal Bears fan. So I really appreciate all the support. All right, let's get back to the questions. I appreciate you guys keeping the questions coming. KIEQ, do you think that we can draft both Will Anderson and Jalen Carter? No, not possible at all. Not possible at all unless you trade back and then take the assets you have to trade back up to get both of them. It would be nice to get both of them, but it's just highly unlikely. Jeremiah says, do you think the Bears can identify offensive talent? With Matt Nagy in there and Ryan Poles, no. But Ryan Pace, no. But with Ryan Poles and the new staff that we have, I'm really optimistic that we're gonna get some offensive studs in here to help the Chicago Bears offense. I'm very confident in the ability of Ryan Poles. I'm excited for Ryan Poles. Last year he came in, didn't have any assets. He had to tear the team down, and people didn't like it. But now he has the assets. He has the tools to build. So they laid the foundation this year. So now he can actually build. So Drew TV said, do you think Schmitz I believe he's from Minnesota, is a second round value pick? Yeah, absolutely. The Bears, they desperately need to get a new center. I would love to add Schmitz to the Chicago Bears. Bring him in. Maybe he could be a day one starter for us even. But the Bears do need to upgrade at center. They need to do everything possible to address that center position. So yes, I think he has second round value. Frank Hacks, thank you for joining the live stream, Frank. Really appreciate you. How far down the draft would you trade to? Would you trade out of the first round if another team offered 3 first round picks along with additional picks? No, I wouldn't trade out of the first round. If you want me to trade out of the first round, you're giving me your whole team. And that's just straight up. You're going to give me your whole franchise. 3 first round picks wouldn't cut it. So I think the Bears can land 3 first round picks by just trading down to number 11 out of the top 10, yet alone trading out of the first round. So no. So personally, how far do I think the Bears will trade down? I still believe that they're not going to trade out of the top 10. I feel like they won't even trade past the 5th pick to me, because I think at the end of the day, they're going to want Will Anderson Jr. or Jalen Carter, one of the two. What is your thought on making history with the first African-American president? I absolutely love it. I absolutely love that the Chicago Bears are being ran by African-American men. Ryan Poles, Ian Cunningham. Now you got the president right in there. So everything is looking up. You got an African-American quarterback. So everything, I like that. I love it. I absolutely love it. Why are there T. Higgins rumors? I mentioned this earlier in the live stream. The reason why there's T. Higgins rumors is because he's basically the odd man out in Cincinnati. You have Joe Burrow, you have Jamar Chase, and they're got to pay all those guys, right? So basically he's the odd man out, and I heard that he wants a massive contract as well. So he won't be able. I don't know. I think they're just rumors at this point. I think the Bengals will work something out. But at this moment, that's where the rumors are coming from. So we'll see what happens. I think it's definitely something to keep an eye on if you're Chicago. He says over under on 3+ first round picks on the number 1 pick. I'm gonna go under. I think the Bears definitely get 2, and that means this year's first, and then obviously a next year's first. I mean, if we're able to get 3 first round picks like in 2023, 2024, and 2025, that would be absolutely ideal. That would be amazing, because that means next year you'd have 2 first round picks. In 2025, you have 2 first round picks. So you would be set. And then Ryan Poles can really start doing his vision of building through the NFL draft. So that's also cool to consider as well. If the Bears cannot re-sign Montgomery, is Herbert ready to be the number one running back? Yeah, that's a good question. The thing about Khalil Herbert is his pass protection is putrid. He has to get better as a pass protector. But in terms of vision, in terms of getaway speed, in terms of all that stuff, he is ready. But in terms of pass protection, that's where he needs to improve at. I hope the Bears can figure out this Montgomery situation, because I do like that two-headed monster with him and then Khalil Herbert, but we'll just have to wait and see. After the free agency and I believe you're saying after the draft of free agency, what does your ideal defense line look like? Oh man. So let's take a look at this. So after it's all said and done, I would really like to have a defense line that looks like this. Will Anderson as one of the edge rushers, Deron Payne, and Justin Jones in the middle. On the other side, I wouldn't mind adding a guy like Yannick Ngakwe. So you have two solid edge rushers coming at you. For me, that would be a very ideal defensive line. Can it be better? Maybe you can get a better guy than Justin Jones or maybe Yannick Ngakwe. But I feel like that would be a much more improved defensive line from last year. Cade says, could the Bears bring back Tariq Cohen in your eyes? My dad and I were just talking about Tariq Cohen. If Tariq Cohen is healthy enough, I would bring him back to camp just to take a look at him, because I think Tariq Cohen in this offense with Justin Fields would be absolutely electric. I was bummed. I thought it was an unfortunate situation for Tariq Cohen. I still feel like he would be a Chicago Bear if he didn't get injured. But if he's healthy enough, I would bring him into camp and see what he has. So it's not unrealistic, but it's probably a little unlikely. Keep the questions coming. I'm going to try to get to all the questions as we go through this live stream. Once again, thank you so much for joining the live stream. I really appreciate all the love and support from all you guys, and for you guys asking me questions. This is going to be a tradition. Hopefully, I'm coming on here every Friday doing a Friday night Q&A, talking some Bears football, NFL, all the good stuff. And just an update on the subscriber counter. We are about 70 subscribers away from 6K. 70 subscribers away from 6K. Super excited for that. Super excited. I'm super pumped. All right. You ready to watch Luke Getsy coach tomorrow? Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a good opportunity for him to coach Senior Bowl. They got like a firsthand look at some unhidden talent at the Senior Bowl, which is a good opportunity for the Chicago Bears, especially a rebuilding team like the Chicago Bears. And it was funny because they showed a picture this week, and the whole Bears front office was there. It was, Ian Cunningham, Eberflus, Ryan Poles. I was like, dang, they're not playing around. So it was cool to see, though. DJ Rose says, what if Arizona trades the number 3 pick to a QB needy team before the Bears? Do you think it brings the number 1 pick more valuable? It could possibly be more valuable if a team trades up, right, trying to get their quarterback. And it would be good for the Bears because that means they can trade back and not have to worry about Arizona taking Will Anderson or Jalen Carter, which means if we trade back and we end up picking before Arizona, we would probably have the pick of the litter between Jalen Carter and Will Anderson, which would be a really tough decision for Ryan Poles. Should the Bears look for a new defensive coordinator? Williams D looks putrid. I love the word putrid. I think the reason why the defense looked putrid is because the assets weren't there. The personnel wasn't there, right? A lot of guys got injured, especially in the secondary. Give them more pieces on the defensive line. Add a couple more linebackers, and then let's judge Williams. Yes, the defensive line, the defense in general did look putrid. But give him a little bit more of some pieces on that defense, and then we can judge him. Yeah, keep the questions coming. I'm here answering, try to get to all you guys' questions. I really appreciate all the love and support. If the Commanders don't re-sign Payne, would the Bears be the favorite to sign him? I would think so. We have the most cap space. But like I said, that doesn't mean that he would want to come to Chicago. So we just have to wait and see. But yeah, we have the most cap space, so money will probably definitely be intriguing for Daron Payne. But I would consider the Bears to be one of the favorites to bring Daron Payne and get him. Yeah, Daron Payne's my number one guy. I'm not gonna lie. That's who I want. I want Daron Payne. I'm hearing the Bears aren't going to get any first round picks unless they fall 20 to 30 pick selection. Oh man. That could be true or false, just depending. I think our number one pick is so valuable this year that even if we trade down with the Colts, I think we'd probably get a number one pick next year. That's just my personal opinion. I think that's what Ryan Poles is going to ask for. And if he doesn't get it, then I don't think he's going to trade it. That's just my personal opinion, though. Do you think the Bears should build in Arlington or purchase iconic Soldier Field from the city? I think Arlington Heights would offer them more space and to give them more space to build like a really state of art stadium and not just renovate at Soldier Field in Chicago. So I would probably opt to just move to Arlington Heights. Obviously, the city of Chicago, downtown, Soldier Field, a lot of memories there, but all good things must come to an end, right? So it would be sad to see them go, but I think it would be awesome to see the new stadium in Arlington Heights. So my question for you guys is, what is your top 5 guys? Or no. Let's just do 3. Give me 3 guys in the chat that you absolutely want the Chicago Bears to sign. Just give me 3 in the chat, and I'll put them on the screen as you guys list them. Frank asks, who would you trade from the current roster, and would you trade for picks or a player swap? Let's take a look at the roster. Who would I trade from the current roster? I know a lot of people won't like this. It just depends what we would get from. I would probably consider just consider. Doesn't mean I want him gone. I'd probably consider trading Eddie Jackson if the price was right. If we were talking about maybe like a second round pick for Eddie Jackson, then I would probably consider it. And it would be tough to get rid of Eddie Jackson because he's been so solid, especially this season prior to his injury. Still think he's very valuable to the team. But if the price is right, I would probably consider trading Eddie Jackson. And would you trade for picks or a player swap? I think picks are more important right now, especially if you want to build through the NFL draft. Unless the right player comes around, like T. Higgins, maybe DeForest Buckner, right? Maybe even if Quentin Nelson from the Colts becomes available, let's say they offer him to us, I would definitely consider that as well. But it just depends. It just depends. Jeremiah says, would you draft a QB in the late rounds or pick up someone up in free agency? Probably just the late rounds of the draft. I don't really think there's going to be anyone in free agency worth it. I'd rather just get like a young rookie in here, hopefully with the same kind of like skill set as Justin Fields. Bring him in and be a solid backup for Justin Fields. So I asked the question, what top 3 free agents do you definitely want the Chicago Bears to sign? Payne, Brown, and Taylor. Yes, those would all be great options for the Chicago Bears, especially Jawan Taylor. I really like Jawan Taylor at right tackle. Damian says trade with Carolina for DJ Moore to 9th overall and more picks. Yeah, I would like that as well. DJ Moore would be a solid wide receiver number one. I think the reason why he doesn't get a lot of credit in Carolina because he's in Carolina and it's been nonsense over there in terms of like the quarterbacks they've had. They haven't been really a good football team, right? So I think if he came to Chicago, he would definitely elevate his game. And I think Justin Fields would be very happy with DJ Moore as well. DJ Moore is a stud for sure. Cade said Deron Payne, Nate Davis, and Bobby Okereke. I like Bobby Okereke because he comes from the Indianapolis Colts. He knows Eberflus' defensive scheme. It'd be a very smooth transition to get him here to Chicago and be a day one starter. Nate Davis is a solid guard. The Bears definitely need to look to upgrade at guard, center, and possibly the right tackle position. And you guys know how I feel about Deron Payne. Daniel CBD said, KIEQ, is Justin Fields a major draw for free agents? He definitely could be. I think free agents can see what Justin Fields did last season with nothing and be like, you know what? If I join this team and make this team better, the Bears can be legit, right? And the reason why I say that is because you see what players are already saying about Justin Fields from other teams, saying how good Justin Fields is and how good he can possibly be. So I think that's going to make Chicago a very attractive destination because of Justin Fields. I am bot said Payne, Yannick, and Posick. Yes, center Posick would be a great option for a massive upgrade at center. Had a very good year with the Cleveland Browns as a pass protector, as a run blocker. Another guy that I'm really intrigued by is guard Ben Powers from the Baltimore Ravens. I've mentioned him in multiple podcasts. The guy only gave up He gave up 0 sacks and only 1 quarterback hit all year long. That's impressive. I think I would give that dude a lot of money. Nano CBD said, Payne. Yes, Deron Payne. That's what we want. Frank said, we think a lot alike, KIEQ. Bojack has the best value for sure. Yes, he does. I think it would be unfortunate. But if the right offer comes around, like you're talking about like a second round pick, then I think that we would at least consider it. I believe the Bears are better off in drafting a running back than re-signing Montgomery. Yeah, running backs are replaceable. Think about it. I was very upset when we traded Jordan Howard because I thought he was the best thing since sliced bread. And then David Montgomery came, right? And then Montgomery was great. And then here comes Khalil Herbert. So running backs can always be replaced. I do like David Montgomery, though. Don't get me wrong. Drew TV said Payne, Myers, and Taylor. I believe you were talking about Jacoby Myers, the wide receiver. But that'd be interesting signing. It definitely would. He's big, possession receiver. I really like that. I think someone said he plays mostly in the slot at times. I haven't really watched a lot of him, but that would definitely be an interesting ad for sure. Frank said, would you hire Lovie Smith on the staff? You know what? Give Lovie Smith a 1-year deal. Bring him to Chicago. Show him some love for helping us out. Yeah, why not? Darren says, dude, why does everyone think Diop is going to fall off a cliff in production because he's over 30? He's never been a burner. Chris routes and glue hands. Yeah, I'm telling you, I would take DeAndre Hopkins, even if that means it was 4 or 5 more years. That's 4 or 5 more years of great production with production of DeAndre Hopkins and having a true number 1 wide receiver. I would add D-Hop for the right price. Nano CB said Hargrave, Bates, and Lamar Jackson. Are you signing Lamar Jackson as a running back for the Bears or what? So I want to know. Would you trade the number 1 pick for Viking receiver Jefferson? Absolutely. Absolutely. Actually, let me hold on. Because that's just one guy. We still need offensive line. We still need defensive line. We have a lot of holes to fill. Justin Jefferson is a certified stud. We do all know that the Minnesota Vikings would not trade Jefferson to Chicago, though. Papa G said 3rd for Bojack. He's getting older. Yeah, I would take a 3rd round pick. If, like I said, the price is right, I would consider trading Eddie Jackson. I know it would be tough, but sometimes you have to make tough decisions. Could you see the Bears signing Dalvin Tomlinson? He's slightly a little worse than Payne, and it's entering his prime and would be cheaper. Only problem is that I don't think he is a 3-tech. Yeah, I've heard Dalvin Tomlinson. I've watched this game. I've heard kind of like different mock off seasons of different Bears fans saying Dalvin Tomlinson would be a really good ad. But for me personally, my top defensive linemen I would love is Deron Payne, Javon Hargraves, and Draymond Jones. Those are the three guys that I really want the Chicago Bears to take a look at. Jeremiah said, "You picking up Alan Lazard or free agency? It just depends. Just depends. 6'4". I think 6'4", 6'5". I feel like he was pretty productive for Green Bay. I don't know. It just depends. He wouldn't be a true number one wide receiver, so I don't know. I think if I had to choose between him and Jacoby Myers, I'll probably go with Jacoby Myers. But the good thing about Alan Lazard is that he would know the offensive scheme, so he would come in right away and be able to at least know the offense. Clubber Lang said it best when they asked him, "What's your prediction?" Pain. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. If you're just now joining the live stream, thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content all offseason long right here on the podcast. This is a growing platform. I really appreciate you guys being here with me on this Friday night live stream. Keep the questions coming. What do you think of the Mike Evans rumors? It's possible because, now with Tom Brady gone, they can look to, basically start all over. They're going to need a quarterback. I think they have Kyle Trask. I'm not sure if they go with him. They're going to draft the quarterback. Who knows? So there could definitely be some smoke there, right? That would be another good option, much like DeAndre Hopkins. That's a guy that's a true number one wide receiver. He would definitely help Justin Fields in the Chicago Bears offense quite a bit. Replace him with Sidney Brown. Graham, is Sidney Brown? Are you referring to replace Sidney Brown with David Montgomery at running back? Oh, Sidney Brown, the safety. Okay, my apologies. Okay, yeah, you could look to um replace Eddie Jackson with a safety like that, or you can go get a guy like Jesse Bates, right? A guy that's younger, a little younger. That would be a good option too. Just depends. It just depends. Like I said, what is the value of Eddie Jackson? I don't know. But definitely, definitely an idea. There's going to be a lot of teams going after Deron Payne. Would you be comfortable paying him close to $25 million per year in order to get him? Yes. Yes. I don't think you guys understand my love for Deron Payne and what I think he could be for the Chicago Bears. Him and Javon Hargrave are kind of in the same area for me in terms of what they would offer the Chicago Bears. The only thing about Javon Hargrave is that he's 29. So that would be tough. But defensive linemen are playing well past their 30s now and still are very productive way past their 30s. So yes, I would do anything I can to get Deron Payne. Drew TV says Eddie Jackson will be this year's Khalil Mack. Yes, possibly so. We all understand that Ryan Poles has no problem cutting ties with the older players. I think they do value Eddie Jackson, but once again, if with the right price, it's possible. It's possible. Ionbot said the Bears should trade back in the draft as often as possible within reason and draft all offense and defensive line the first 2 days of the draft. Yes, absolutely. We got to build the trenches. Offensive line, especially in pass protection, was putrid, and then the defensive line was just putrid in general, right? So Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears have to build the trenches. Feels like Fields is the next Hester, as an excitement with the ball, with more upside. Yeah, absolutely. He's the next Devin Hester, but he can do a lot more than Devin Hester. He can throw, he can run, right? He can do everything, right? So, I haven't been this excited for a quarterback ever because the Bears have never had a franchise quarterback. So I'm super excited for the future of the Chicago Bears. I'm super excited for the future of Justin Fields. I finally think we have our guy. Finally. I really, really appreciate you guys joining this live stream. Really, really do. This is awesome. Keep the questions coming. We'll keep going for maybe another 10 minutes. Fields was sacked 55 times last year in 2023, over under on 35 sacks. It just depends who we add. I expect to add to the offensive line. Obviously, you know what? I'm going to be bold and say the Bears' offensive line is going to be one of the more improved units in terms of pass protection next season. I think we're going to do enough to build that offensive line to keep Justin Fields upright. I'm going to say under 35 sacks. Do you guys agree with me there? What will the Bears do in the linebacker position? Well, there's options. You can draft the linebacker, but I definitely think they can get guys like TJ Edwards, Bobby Okereke. Is Tremaine Edmonds still on the table for the Bears? I'm not sure. But there's definitely going to be options to add to the linebacker room. We're getting close to free agency, guys, too. Free agency, to draft, the combine. That's when things really start getting serious. This is when things start getting fun. Over, under, and free agent player signed. I'm gonna say, if I had to guess, I think the Bears will have some splash signings. I think we're gonna have 3 to 4 splash signings, guys that are gonna be like, oh yeah, we're gonna be excited about. And then I think we're gonna have maybe another maybe 3 or 4 guys that are gonna just be coming in. Maybe not splash signings, but like second tier, third tier free agents that can come in and still be very productive. Drew said, "Have you seen the Bears mic'd up for the coaches at the Senior Bowl? If so, do you see true leadership?" I have not got a chance to watch it. With the 5-month-old, constantly posting videos, my normal work, my normal life, working out, all that stuff. Sometimes I don't get a chance to watch things, but I'll definitely have to check it out and see. I like Luke Getsy. I really do. Same thing with Alan Williams on the defense side of the ball. Can't really judge Luke Getsy because the personnel is not there, right? So we need to add before we can judge. Kay says, could you see the Bears signing Fletcher Cox on a 1-year deal to be a bridge to get Dexter Lawrence next year or draft? Yeah, you could go that route. Do they go that route? Probably not. They don't want an older guy. They want a younger guy like Deron Payne, Draymond Jones, right? Like one of those guys. So or maybe even a draft a guy like Ika out of Baylor, or Ryan Breesy out of Clemson. One of those guys, So they definitely want to go younger. Would you like to see the Bears on Hard Knocks? I would. I think that would be pretty cool to see Justin Fields, like just more highlights on Justin Fields and how they do things with inside Hallis Hall. I think that would be pretty cool. I think they are eligible, so we'll see if they get the nod. So it would be cool. Who wins the Super Bowl? Ooh, that's a tough one. Something's telling me Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs get it done. I think they do. I think he's gonna get his second Super Bowl title. I think the Eagles look good. The defense is good, but it's kind of hard to go against the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, especially the way they've been playing. Nano CBD said Fields, 4,200 yards passing and 38 touchdown passes plus 600 yards rushing and 6 TDs for a total of 4,800 yards and 44 TDs equal MVP candidate in 2023. Yeah, I would believe so. If he can get all that stats to sustain that success, plus the Bears possibly go to the playoffs, I can definitely see him being MVP of the 2023 season, especially with those type of stats. Best path to number one wide receiver, draft or trade? I would possibly say draft. Would probably be a little bit easier. Like I said, it just depends on the price. If you're talking about like a third or fourth round pick for DeAndre Hopkins, I would probably go that route. DeAndre Hopkins can be a certified number one wide receiver for you for the next couple of years, until you can get Marvin Harrison Jr. next year, possibly to come in and kind of bridge him along, and be our new number one. Levante said Justin Fields will become an MVP candidate next season. I can see it happening if they build around him. We saw how special he can be with no one and how we elevated his game with no one. So just imagine Justin Fields with an offensive line, with one more good weapon. It should be absolutely ridiculous. Just give him an offensive line. You can just give him an offensive line and be good with Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, and Chase Claypool. I think that would be enough for him. As long as he has an offensive line, he's protected. Would you do your late second for Hopkins? I probably would. And the only reason why I say yes is because if we trade down from the number one overall pick, which is likely, you will probably gain a second round pick in the process. So I don't think the Bears would trip too much getting rid of that late second round pick. So what's a better combo in Bears uniform? Payne and Carter or Payne and Anderson? Ooh, that's tough because you're looking at Payne and Carter. You got two defensive tackles that can not only stop the run, but they can rush the passer as well. So that would be deadly in that middle of that defensive line. But then you look at Payne and Anderson. So now you have a guy coming off the edge and a guy coming up the middle. So that's just a preference. But for me, like I said, I'm an Anderson guy. So I'll go Payne and Anderson. Drew says, "Do you see an '85 Bears team in the making?" I wouldn't go that far. I don't want to. I don't want to disrespect the 1985 Bears because that team was absolutely amazing. It could be. You never know. They build the right way. We could see what happens. Levante says, "Give me your best trade, Tennessee Titans trade for the number one pick." Okay. So if I'm going to trade down all the way, I believe they're at number 11. That's 10 spots, and I'm trading out of the first. I'm trading out of the top 10. So you are going to give me number 11 overall, a second round pick, a first round pick next year, a third round pick next year, and then you're also going to give me a 2025 first round pick, and you got a deal. Then I'll trade with you. If you don't want to offer that, then I'm not trading with you. You're obviously not that desperate, but that's just me personally. I have high expectations. I might have a team to build, and I can't just give away the number one pick for free. You have to pay premium to trade up 10 spots to get the guy that you want. That is just me personally. If you want to trade up, you got to pay the premium. Don't be a cheap motherfucker. You got to pay the premium. The key to 85 Bears is Buddy Ryan and not entirely Dicka. Yes, I can agree with that. That's a whole different conversation, but I can definitely agree with that. I will answer a couple more questions. If you have any more questions for me, make sure you put them in the chat. And then we will end tonight's Friday night Q&A. I do have to get back to the little one. That's the only tough thing about coming on the live streams, because the little one. Drew says, by the way, congrats on the little one, KIEQ. Yes, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all the love. She's 5 months old, going on 6 months, and it's like she grows by day. So it's been awesome. It's an honor to be a dad. But thank you for the kind words. Is $8 million a year on a 3-year too much for Monty? No, I think that'd be fair. 3-year, 20, what would that be? $24 million deal. Give him about $15 million guaranteed to keep David Montgomery in Chicago. I would like that deal. Congrats, bro. Thanks, Frank. I really appreciate you. I really do. It's fun being a dad. Levante said 4 firsts, 4 seconds, 4 thirds, and defense tackle Jeffrey Simmons for the number 1 pick. If they're willing to offer us that, I would definitely take that. I've seen crazier things happen, right? But that would absolutely be a massive haul that I think Ryan Poles would definitely accept. Roberto says, just imagine a defense line with Payne, Carter, and Miles Murphy. Yes, that would be absolutely insane. That would be a good defensive line. You got 2 young rookies in Carter and Miles Murphy that could be day 1 starters, and of course, Deron Payne. You know what he could do. Papa G says, it's been great. Thanks for your time. Bear down. Yes, bear down to you as well, Papa G. I appreciate you coming on the live stream and showing your support. This is going to be an every Friday night thing. That's my goal, unless I have something going on. And I'm going to start doing a lot more live streams. Once again, shout out to Opus for allowing me to use their live streaming platform. It's been amazing. Payne and Simmons up the middle, I would also really like that. I would definitely love that scenario. That would be massive. That would be massive. That would make our defensive line a whole lot better. And like I said, our defensive line was bad. So any scenario that we can upgrade our defensive line, I'll take it. Cade, have a good night as well. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. I really appreciate you and your support. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and end this Friday night Q&A. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for all the love and support you guys continue to show the channel. Like I said, I'm about to hit 6,000 subscribers. So we're going to continue to grow. It's going to be a long offseason for the Chicago Bears. So make sure you smash that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears offseason news all offseason long. I will be here trying my best. I've been posting videos every day, grinding it out to make sure you guys have the best possible Bears content out there. But like I said, it's not possible without the support from you guys. So, like I said, thank you so much for joining the live stream. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed the Pro Bowl. But I will definitely be back next Friday for another Friday night Q&A. So stay in tune for that. And also stay in tune for a whole new week of KIEQ on the Mic podcast. So bear down, you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.